this video is an overview of the integration between SAP Business One 9.1 through 9.3 to FocusPoint. In this configuration panel of the back end of FocusPoint, I have several options here that I can use to fine-tune the SAP integration. Starting off with the ability to create all attributes for combinations, which is effectively the support for sales bombs. We can process images from SAP, or they can come from a third-party source. In terms of payments, invoices that exist in SAP flow through to FocusPoint, and you can even tack on a commission or a transaction fee when collecting those if you need to handle Visa payments and those kind of things. We have additional options that go down to restriction around access control lists and web stores. So within SAP, when you create price lists and roles, they can flow through and be enforced in different ways to control the user experience. We have a very flexible way to handle user-defined fields. Within here, this is a mapping table, and this automatically maps into the message that we send to and from SAP. For example, the customer ref num is mapped to the purchase order field within FocusPoint around the product entity, and it is an inbound direction. I can create these mappings on the fly, and no coding is required. For example, sample field 1 is a user-defined field in SAP, and let's just say sample field in FocusPoint. I can attach this to an entity name. We'll call this a product attribute in this case. A product attribute would be something like a color or a size, that kind of thing. And then I can specify the direction. So for data around the inventory master or item master coming from SAP, I can quickly map everything in that message to fields in FocusPoint and vice versa. This creates an excellent synchronization engine that is extremely efficient. Many key entities are supported in our integration, starting with business partners, including payment terms and customer terms. All can be enforced. Business partners can be loaded from SAP into FocusPoint, and new users can be created in FocusPoint and sent to SAP as part of the sales order processing. The source of truth for the item master is within SAP, and all the key information, including pictures, product names, descriptions, pricing, SKU information, stock information, flow through to FocusPoint to drive the e-commerce store experience. Inventory updates are also handled, just in case you have multiple sales channels. And these can run in near real time or in batch mode, depending on your requirements. And all other major integration points, from sales order processing to invoice and payment capture, all the way to delivery and shipping notifications, are all supported within our synchronization engine between SAP and FocusPoint. Taking a quick look now at the actual portal itself, this is the actual customer experience. Where I just was at the start of this video is strictly for store administrators. This is the experience that the end user or buyer sees here now. This is a basic B2C template, but it is integrated with SAP. To get to the overall customer portal underneath my account once logged in, I can click on customer portal here, and this will open up into a dashboard. I'll just change the dates here so that I can look at some data. So the order history now within SAP is now viewable here with all pertinent information. So for example, I can see my previous order here that I did back in November of 2019, and I can even quickly reorder anything that was on this lines, including previous quantities, or I can set new quantities. The main benefit of this approach, of course, with this portal is that if you have multiple sales channel, perhaps a POS in play, this shows you the entire history of everything, all sales channels, not just the web portal. That's very relevant here when it comes to invoice payments or invoice capture, because a sale could be generated over the phone or another avenue. An invoice is created in SAP, and now with our notification engine, they can be notified and they can go ahead and pay. We support many payment scenarios, including straight credit card with all the popular payment gateways. Upon submission, this will be created as an invoice within SAP. And we also support deliveries, quotes, returns, and credit notes as well to give a full 360-degree view of what is in SAP that is relevant to FocusPoint. Moving back to the back end, just to finalize this video, a little bit about the capability and restrictions as well we have around business partners. You have the flexibility to block or accept new address entries at the time of checkout. So for example, if you have business partners that are creating SAP and you don't accept new registrations from FocusPoint on the web, then you can block, of course, that registration process, and you can even block the actual ability to create these billing addresses and shipping addresses and force them to use cost centers and locations. We can even go as far as restricting business partners based on their roles, which come from the price lists in SAP to specific storefronts. So just by checking that enables me the capability on other screens to target specific microsites or customer portals or even sub-stores. Within SAP, which is a separate video, you'll see the complementary mapping screen for user-defined fields and object mapping that compare to the SAP integration additional field mapping table that we see here. So effectively, one of these tables exists within our user-defined object within SAP, and this is how the two systems can talk to each other in real time.